Hey everyone, hope your week is off to a fantastic start. We obviously have a really big week for Sierra Condos. It's our closing week, which we're really excited about. Just wanted to give you a quick update. I promised I would have some more information, just kind of about plans, what we're doing, and it's a little easier for me to put this in video format than to write it all out. And so that's why we're doing this. Hopefully, it just take a couple minutes to listen to. So. First of all, we are still targeting to close this week. The close date's moved a couple times, but currently looks like it'll be Wednesday, the 22nd, so here in 2 days. Obviously, as soon as it's closed, we'll send out an email to everyone just letting everyone know, hey, we're closed, everything's good, nothing to worry about. Also, if for some reason it does push a day or two, don't be alarmed. That's pretty normal. It's already pushed one day back. But I feel fairly confident probably Wednesday is going to be our day. So we're going to close. As a part of that, obviously, we will receive all the proceeds from the sale minus what we owe in expenses and to our lender to pay off the note. Here's how the distributions and all that's going to kind of play out. So as soon as we close, probably the next day, Thursday, we are going to send out through the Syndication Pro portal a distribution to you, the investors, that will encompass all the catch up for the preferred return that we have not completed. I think this is going to be on the order of around three times the size of a normal distribution. So that's kind of what you can expect there. But we're going to catch up that 6% preferred return so everyone's caught up is step one. Second step, which we will do immediately after that, is we're going to send back the initial capital that everyone put in the deal. So whatever your principal was in the deal, we will send that. It will also go through the portal via ACH and arrive probably about 5 days later to your account. So sometimes investors, a day or two after, they're like, hey, where's it at? The answer is ACH can take 5 days. Sometimes I've seen it take as long as a week, but usually 4 or 5 days to hit your account. So don't be alarmed there. So we'll send the distribution catch up, send the principal back. We'll then do a third payout that is going to be somewhere around 90% of the profits that we have coming out of the deal. Okay. So I think once this is paid out, it's going to result in you having a total return at that point of around a 1.8 equity multiple. So we'll send that out pretty much immediately after the principal send out. Um, and by the time you receive that, you should have all the distribution, all your principal, and like 90% of the profits in a very short amount of time. Probably the longest part there is going to be like I said, 5 to 7 day wait for the ACH. At that point, the negative news is the last 10% is going to take a while to get done. Essentially, we have to wrap up all the accounting for the project. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, first, our property manager will need to tie up all the accounting on their end. Per the contract we have with them, they're allowed up to 45 days to do that. Because if you think about it, they have to have utility invoices come in, et cetera, pay those, account for it, and close out the book. So, if all goes really smooth, we're probably looking at like 1st of December by the time we get it from them. We then have to pass all that information on to our CPA and our attorney so that our CPA can close out the final books on our end as a general partnership. I'm also going to have them do a high level audit of sorts just to say, hey, everything was done correctly per the operating agreement, everything's accurate, so that we have that to show as well. And then our attorney will be winding down all the entities, which there are four on this particular project that they'll need to wind down, close out. And so that's going to take some time as well. Our goal is to complete all of that before the end of the year. There is a chance that it delays into next year. This is our first time doing it with this particular software, with this management company. So there's just a lot of unknowns there. And so we're going to try to get it done before end of this year. As I understand, probably there's some tax implications there one way or another, but ideally we have everything closed out, documents done before year end and over to you, the investors. Obviously, we'll continue to communicate as we have updates and a better idea of what that timeline looks like. So hopefully all that's clear to everyone. Overall, it's extremely positive news. We're going to be a little north of projections in 4 years as opposed to five. So for buying something in 2021, selling now, I think that's probably about as good as you're going to find anywhere. And so we're really excited about the results from it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. One kind of final note, we do actually have another project under contract now that we are working to purchase. We just exited the due diligence phase last week on said project, and we will be opening that project for investors in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. And so, if you are someone who you would like to roll funds from Sierra over to this new project, one, there's going to be a lot of details coming out about it to our investors over the next several days. You'll see the big announcement if you're on our investor list today that we have another project under contract. And also, I will go ahead and put in the webinar registration link to this email in case you're interested. And so, the reason that you may want to consider that is, 100% bonus depreciation is back in play this year. Our initial projections on this look like we're going to get about a 75% write-off for capital invested. So in other words, if you had $100,000 invested and then you gained 85 on Sierra, which is about where we're penciling in there, right? 1.85 equity multiple, you would basically get 75,000 of that offset from just reinvesting the $100,000 principal. And so that's obviously fantastic. If you have additional, losses that you claimed with Sierra against other investments, that obviously changes the math to it. And as always, you should check with your CPA and such. But if you're concerned about taxes going into the end of this year, we've got an opportunity. We are fairly confident that we can close the new opportunity before the end of the year. So that could be something to look into. Regardless, we're really grateful to have you as an investor in Sierra, grateful for how the project has turned out. And we will continue to be in communication as we know more. Have a great day.